Hey everyone, it's Justice for Comics. I'm going to try to do this again. This is going to be the third time I've tried to record this video. Um, the last time I guess we have tornado warnings in my area, so it knocked out the internet for a few minutes. So yeah, I just decided to delete that stream and start it over. So hopefully we don't have any more interruptions. It is still raining pretty hard. You never know. If I happen to go offline all of a sudden, it might just because of we're getting hit by a tornado. Maybe I don't know. It's a bad weather day. You have those days down here in Florida on occasion. All right, let's dive into it here. We're going to be looking at books coming out next Wednesday, the 17th. We're using Midtown as usual. Start off with Dark Horse, Blue Book, 1947, issue 3. I do like this cover here by Trad Moore. It's a Virgin variant landscape. He's definitely got an interesting style to his art. It's got kind of a psychedelic type of style to it. I just kind of dig that artwork. I'm not reading the series. It's James Tynion that's doing the writing. If you're into aliens and alien abductions and all that good stuff, this might be a good book for you. But it doesn't really interest me, so I'm not picking it up. But I do like that cover, so I thought I'd mention it. There is a new #1 from Dark Horse next week. Dudley Batson and the Forever Machine. Scott Snyder. Scott Snyder used to be one of those writers that, he was probably your #1 writer 5, 6 years ago, probably. His run on Batman with Greg Capullo was definitely an epic run on Batman. He introduced a lot of interesting new characters, of course, the Court of Owls. It was a good run. I enjoyed it. I've got all the issues. Um, he's doing more his own thing now, independent. He's got a couple titles with Image. He's got a couple titles with IDW. Now Dark Horse. I don't know. He's just. I like the old Scott Snyder. The new one doesn't really appeal to me. So I don't know. I don't know if this is good or not. You may want to pick it up off the shelf at your local comic book shop and see if it's worth picking up. Do a brief read of it if you can, but I'm not picking it up. But let me know if it's worth getting. Maybe it's good and I don't know it. Another one here is Helen of Windhorn. This is issue #2. Tom King, Bilquis Evely. I don't know if Bilquis is a female or a male. I'm going to say it's a female. I don't think I've ever heard of that name, Bilquis. It's interesting. I do like the C cover by Greg Smallwood. It's a nice looking cover. Smallwood's a great artist. He's done some really nice covers, and I like that he stepped forward. I don't know if you've been listening to a lot of the YouTube videos about Ed Piskor. Uh, he was in the comic book industry. I think his most famous project was called Red Room. I think he was the writer on that series, and he basically was being canceled. He obviously did some things that were questionable on a personal level. I don't know if they were ever proven. Either way, though, the cancel culture was pretty hard on him, and there were apparently some cyberbullying that happened. I don't know. There's definitely the leftist fascist SJWs that are out there in the comic book world, of which there are many. Mark Waid comes to mind. Mags Visaggio. They have kind of this whisper network, and if they decide to hone in on somebody and destroy their career, as they did Ethan Van Sciver. There's been a bunch of them, especially lately, that have basically left the gate of the gate-holding mainstream of comics and have gone off on their own. And Smallwood is stepping up and saying, "Hey, these people should be ashamed of themselves." And the reason this is so controversial and why you'll see so many YouTube channels doing coverage of this is because Ed Piskor named people in his suicide note that he felt were responsible for his downfall, which is pretty shocking in itself. And it's pretty damning of these leftist people. And if you want to know the names, there's several videos going into detail. Actually, you can actually pull up the letter too. I think somebody has posted it. So, these people, they're, I don't know. I don't know how they can sleep at night. Um, I guess they don't have consciences. That's probably one of the reasons. They just don't care. And that's what SJWs do. They destroy everything they touch. Um, and they've been trying to destroy comic books for years. And these are people that don't even read comic books, by the way, who get hired at these major studios. It's amazing. They get put on projects. I mean, there's recent examples too. The She-Hulk writer of the She-Hulk series on Disney Plus never ever picked up a comic book and admitted to that. And these are the people that are writing stories. It's just incredible. I'm glad to see more and more people are having the courage to step up and saying enough is enough. And Greg Smallwood has done that. He posted his response on Twitter or X. So I encourage you to check that out. And I support people like Greg Smallwood. So good on him for doing that. Glad to see that people are fighting back against this insanity. That's it from Dark Horse. DC Comics, not a whole lot to mention here. I'm not a big fan of DC Comics lately. The story writing is terrible when you got people like Mark Waid, who he's one of those fascist SJWs and doesn't have a lot of talent either. His writing is terrible. I mean, the only thing he ever wrote that was worth a damn was he wrote Kingdom Come in a joint venture with Alex Ross all those years ago. I can't think of anything since that he's done that's been worth even mentioning. So I don't know. Just it's pretty sad DC lately. There's not a whole lot of books. There's only 2 books I'm picking up next week. One of them is Green Lantern War Journal #8. This is the Raza cover. I've read a couple of the issues here, and I've been buying them mainly because Raza's been doing a lot of the B cover work, I think since issue 1. So I've been picking up most of the B covers. And the writing is okay on this title. It's not bad. So that's one of the 2 books I'm picking up from DC next week. I think there's one more to mention. It's not Superman. It's not Titans. Wonder Woman. I do like this Villa Lobos cover. Again, this is your poor man's Adam Hughes. I don't think he's near as good as Adam Hughes, but he's getting work. What can I tell you? I mean, he's basically draws just like Adam Hughes. Maybe he's better at doing. I don't know if he's ever done any interior work. I think he's just a cover artist, as far as I know. And by the way, he's not the one mentioned in the Suicide Note by Ed Piskor. It's Ramon Villalobos. I don't think there's any relation. Villalobos is somewhat of a common Spanish last name, so I don't think there's any relation to the 2 of them. Not to confuse the 2. The other one here that's sold out. This is the other one I pre-ordered. Wonder Woman #8. This is the Swaby cover. Yeah, it's a nice cover. It's one of the best Wonder Woman covers I've seen in a long time. I love it. Total cover buy. I've not read too many of the issues. Tom King is doing the writing. Sampree's doing the art. It might be worth a read. I'll give it a read and see if it's any good, but basically pick that up for the cover art. And that's it from DC. That's all. Army of Darkness, Dynamite Entertainment, Army of Darkness Forever, #7 will be out. Yeah, this Sudam cover is kind of cool. Surrounded by some zombie chicks. Of course, their faces are all messed up, but their bodies are perfect. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. As if that would be the case. What else? Elvira meets H.P. Lovecraft. Man, it's really raining hard outside. I don't know if you can hear that in the background or not. It's pouring down right now. I think there's one other book that I thought I'd mention. Red Sonja, Empire of the Damned, #1. This is the limited edition Joshua Middleton virgin cover. I don't know what limited means. I know years ago they would have these ultra limited edition virgin covers. It would come with a COA claiming that it was a 50 copy print run. I don't know if they're still doing that. It is a nice cover. It's priced at $45. Just not a big fan of Dynamite Entertainment. They're I don't know. You think something's limited, and all of a sudden there's a bunch of them for sale on their website. Kind of sounds like Boom Studios. There's other websites that do that. I do like the cover though. I think I picked up the black and white. There's a black and white version of that I just got in the mail. I think it was only $10. I'm good with that. It's a nice cover too. But yeah, I like this cover a lot. So I'm not going to go pay $45 for it at the moment, but I'd say if that got down to like $30, if someone just was trying to dump it on eBay, I might pick that up. I don't know if that'll happen or not, but I'd pay $30 for it. And that does it for Dynamite. IDW Publishing, Golgotha Motor Mountain. I have no idea what this book is about. I do like this cover though. It's kind of cool. It's kind of a nice design. I like the coloring. It's interesting. It's by Robbie Rodriguez. He's also doing the art in the interior of the book. What else from IDW? Anything else? I think that's it. Image. There's a new #1 next week, 7174 AD. Ashley Wood, she's doing the co-writing and the art. I don't know if this is worth picking up or not. Maybe take a breeze of it. Take a look at it at your LCS and see if it's worth it. Cobra Commander #4. There's a bunch of covers on that. I did like that first issue. I thought it was well done. You know, if you're a G.I. Joe fan, this might be up your alley. There is a 1 in 50 incentive cover by Ben Oliver, and I wouldn't have known that's a Ben Oliver cover. He's kind of more famous for doing faces, and there's no face on Cobra Commander there, so it's sort of his talents were not being really used in that cover, I don't think. Kid Cudi, is it Cudi? Presents Moonman #2. I do like the C cover here by Tocchini. At least that's how we pronounce his name. It sounds very Italian. It's a definite style. I remember I used to collect that Image title Low. I think he was the artist on that for several years. I don't think it ever really did anything or go anywhere. It never got options, so it's kind of like lost to the land of obscurity. But he is a good artist. What else from Image? Sam and Twitch, Case Files #2. I did pick up the first issue. I haven't read it yet. If it's good, I might pick up the second issue. I'm going to have to give it a read first. Spawn 352. I usually pre-order the A covers on those. Definitely the cheapest comic book that you can buy. I think pre-order price is only like $1.80. Where else can you buy a $1.80 comic book? Very few places. McFarlane has submitted himself as the go-to independent comic book artist. Good on him. He's built an empire. That does it for Image. Marvel. Avengers Twilight #1, third printing. Also issue 2, third printing. This is my favorite series that Marvel has out right now. Chip Zdarsky writing. Beautiful art by Daniel Acuna. You rarely get great art and great writing, and you get both with Avengers Twilight. I just like it. It's kind of an alternative future where basically Red Skull runs the world. He's a fascist, and Captain America comes back. He's an old man. They kind of reinvigorate him with the super soldier serum again. It's just a great story so far. So I like it. There's a B cover by Acuna I like. I think I pre-ordered that one as well. Bunch of covers on that one, though. Black Widow and Hawkeye #2. I do like this cover here by Aka, AKA, I think it is, also known as. Is that what it is? It's a nice cover. I don't know if that's a new Spider character. I don't think it is. It's got a symbiote, obviously, to that Spider character, but I do like that cover by Aka. Captain Marvel #7. There's a 1 in 25 by Mercado. Notice it is priced above ratio. Issue 5 and 6 were hot books. Those 1 in 25s are going for a lot more than ratio now. I think #5 being the stellar one, the Russell Dodderman one, that's still selling for $250 or more on eBay, which is unbelievable for a 1 in 25. And the #6 issue by DeCall, the 1 in 25, that's still selling around $50, about double ratio. I think at one point it did sell for around $150. That's come way back down. So this Mercado cover is not near as nice as the other two that I mentioned. So I don't expect this cover to be as hot. But again, how many comic book shops are ordering 25 copies of Captain Marvel? They don't sell 5 copies. So there's nobody ordering 25. I mean, Midtown might have a couple copies just because they do huge volumes of business, but most shops aren't going to order 10 copies of Captain Marvel. No way. So this should be a fairly rare book based on ordering, but you never know. I don't think it's near as nice as the other two that I mentioned. Dead X-Men #4. Yeah, I like this Jubilee cover by Yoon. That one's nice. It's a decent cover. Fall of the House of X #4. I do like the E.M. Gist cover. Not his best, though. I would say, if you're on a scale of 10, it's not a 9 or a 10 for Gist, which he normally does a really, really good job. I would say this is a solid 6. It's okay. Not his best. It's still they still have it priced above ratio. I think there's been sales on eBay between $50 and $60. So it's selling at a little bit of a premium over ratio pricing, but not much. I was able to find a website that had a pre-order price of about $30 on this. That's pretty good for a 1 in 50. I still like it, but yeah, it's not his best. Let's put it that way. Ghost Rider Final Vengeance #2. The B cover by Jeff Shaw is sold out. Yeah, that's kind of a cool cover. Nice little homage there of Tomb of Dracula. I like it. That one's sold out at Midtown. There is a 1 in 25, the Dolly one, that's priced a little bit above ratio. Let's see, there might be one more book to mention. Miles Morales #19. I do like the Chew cover. That's a 1 in 25. That one's pretty cool. Roxxon presents Thor #1. I hate the name. I mean, that's a terrible title. Roxxon presents. Give me a break. There is a nice Adi Granoff cover. There is a 1 in 50 Virgin cover. So, again, priced a little bit above ratio. I don't know. I don't think that cover is going to do that great. It is a decent cover, though, but I don't know. It's a one-shot. Are a lot of shops going to order 50 copies? It could be one of those books that ends up being worth more just because it just wasn't ordered heavily by comic book shops, but I don't know. It is a nice cover. I do like it. I don't think I want to pay $50 for it, but maybe there's a deal out there somewhere we can get a little cheaper. Was there anything else from Marvel? Yeah, I do like this Mace Windu B cover, Star Wars. That's nice. Nice cover by Camuncoli. You got the Emperor and Darth Vader. They're doing synchronized lightsabering, apparently. I don't know. It's kind of corny. It's kind of a corny cover too. I don't know. It's weird. Yeah. Synchronized lightsaber dueling. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Ultimate Black Panther #2. Second printing is out next week. There's also a second printing 1 in 25 incentive for $54. Nobody's taken the bite out of that yet. It's still available at Midtown. Issue 3 of Ultimate Black Panther will be out next week. I do like the Boss Logic cover. I pre-ordered that one. Yeah, it's a good cover by Boss Logic. He's kind of like him and Raza are very similar. I see them both do covers, and you could easily fool me by saying, "Hey, this is a Boss Logic or a Raza." I wouldn't know the difference. They both have a very similar style of art. There also is a 1 in 25 scan cover as well. What If Venom? Yeah, that issue number 3 will be out. I think that does it for Marvel. Independence. Not too much to mention here from Independence. Animal Pound number 3. This is Tom King. I read the first issue. I thought it was okay. It wasn't too bad for the using animals to make them look like humans, I guess. The 1 per store variant sold out at Midtown for $22. I was able to find it for $6, so that was a good deal. Better than $22. Beyond Real number 3. I really like this cover. This is the Vincenzo Riccardi premium virgin variant. So I don't know what the ratio is on this. Midtown had it basically for $40, so that makes me think it was like a 1 in 40 or a 1 in 50 ratio to get this cover. I did check online. There were a couple websites that had it for sale at one time. I think Golden Apple had a copy. They sold it for like $50. So it sounds like it's either a 1 in 25 or a 1 in 50 ratio type cover. It is a beautiful cover. I love the coloring on it. It just looks like it took a lot of time to do that cover. I don't know. Maybe it didn't, but it looks that way. A lot of detail. I love the coloring. I think Riccardi is getting that reputation for just having some very detailed work. His penciling is very detailed. Looks like it takes him a long time. He's probably fast though, because he does seem to pump out a lot of covers. He does a lot of store exclusives as well. So I like this cover though. It's cool. Probably not going to be real easy to find. I looked online. Most of the online shops have already sold out of it. So that might be one to just look for briefly at your LCS. Maybe your shop owner has it. And I mean, I've heard of people messaging me saying, "Yeah, I was able to get the premium cover for cover price." I mean, that would be a great deal. If you could get it for cover price, I would pick it up for sure. I just like the cover. So total cover buy. I'm not reading the story. I don't really know much about Beyond Real. I'm not a big fan of Vault Comics in general. I think most of their comic books aren't very good, but I do love that cover. So Biden Titans versus Trump Titans, for you political people. What is noteworthy is they do have the mug shots here. Of course, there's the most famous mugshot in history of Donald Trump. That is sold out, and then there's maybe the future mugshot of Joe Biden. I don't know. I don't think they're going to put him in jail. He's too old. I'll be shocked if he lives another year or two. I've had older relatives that suffered from mental decline, and he seems exactly like that. So that's my opinion. I think they should just put him out to pasture, let him live out the remainder of his days in a wheelchair, I guess, or maybe he'll live it out in a jail cell. Who knows? Who knows? I don't think he'll go to jail though, but I think it's a funny looking picture. What else? Is that it? Boom Studios. No one cares about them. And there might be one other book to mention. Let me see. Let me go through here. Displaced number 3. There's also another Riccardi variant. Again, I love the use of coloring. The coloring's fantastic. I think the other one's a little bit more detailed, a little bit better, but there's a 1 in 25 or a one. I think it's a 1 in 20 actually. I'm not a big fan of Boom Studios though at all, so I usually stay away from any of their books. Um, Lotus Land #6. I've read the first 3 issues. It's kind of a cool detective cop story. You know, the cop that's looking to redeem himself from past wrongdoing, that type of storyline. The Gist cover's nice. Yeah, that's a good cover by Gist. I did pre-order that one. It's a 1 in 20. So Midtown does have it priced above ratio. Um, there's one copy on eBay right now for $55. So 27 sounds like a good deal. It's one of those books that's probably not going to be heavily ordered. You're probably not going to find that cover at your local comic book shop. But then again, no one really cares. It's a Boom Studios book. Um, there's not a lot of attention on it. It is a nice cover by E.M. Gist. So you never know. I've bought some E.M. Gist covers in the last year or so and resold them and made good money on them, mainly just because there's people that collect his art. So it's kind of all I would look at it as. Another cover that I like is Love Me a Romance Story #1. This is the B cover by Nimit Malvia. I think it's Malavia. Malavia. I love the coloring. It's just a cool looking cover. Total cover buy. I don't really buy Mad Cave Studio books, but I do like that cover. Got your Penthouse Comics. There's a Sozo Mayaka cover there. That one looks decent. And it looks like the photo edition variant is sold out at Midtown. Might be one other book to mention. The Prism #7. Yeah, it's a nice homage to Fleetwood Mac. I don't know if you're familiar with I think that was at the Rumors. I think that was the Rumors album. Yep. By Fleetwood Mac. Famous cover. It's a good album, man. It's a good album. A lot of good songs on that album. Under Heist #3, another Boom Studios book. I don't know. This is a weird looking cover. This is by David Lapham. I don't know what's going on with this cover. There's pills, there's a gun, there's some rope. Yep. Very interesting cover there. And that does it. The rest are all trades and paperbacks. So those are the books coming out next Wednesday, guys. I'm glad I was able to get through the entire video. It is still raining hard, but we haven't lost power, which is good. All right, that's what I have for you. It is Thursday, so I do plan on doing a live stream tonight, highlighting some books, some speculative books that you might be interested in. There's been some books that have been really hot lately. I'm going to highlight those in my live stream. So if you like to speculate in comic books and you like cool looking covers, you may want to tune in to this evening. I'll be going live probably around 8:30, probably 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So look for that 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. I will be going live talking about comics, some speculative books, some incentive books, some variants that look interesting. So stay tuned for that. All right, guys. Hope you have a great Thursday. Go get your books. And thanks for bearing with me. See you soon.